being opened and able to see. That's a miracle, absolutely. But there's miracles all around us every single day that we take for granted. Amen. You know, first we started off with the bigger things, and then we got down to the itsy bitsy things. One of the things was the fact that we're on a rock with mud, water, and it's the exact perfect distance away from the sun that if it was any closer, the water would boil away. You know, if it was any further, everything, we'd be living on a snowball or we wouldn't be alive. You know, that we're not close to a, you know, you look at the solar system and you see the millions and billions of stars, and that's just in the Milky Way galaxy. And then there's billions and billions of galaxies on top of that in this universe. Innumerable things and celestial bodies of such tremendous proportion that you can't even begin to imagine. But then we started talking about the littler things. And one scripture that I often quote, it's because I'm in awe of it, because there's so much truth to it, where the word says that we are fearfully and wonderfully made. Me and Cam had the same conversation me and Joshua had, just me being in awe. If you look at your finger, just the tip of your finger, the smallest point that you can imagine, there's billions of cells. Billions. And each, not one of those cells is aware of the other. Amen? They just exist in their own little state of being. Yet, all the cells that are in your body, they work together to sustain you. That's crazy. But it gets even more crazy than that. Amen? Inside the cell, there's a nucleus. And inside that nucleus, there's so much DNA. There's millions and millions of strands of DNA. Amen? And every single last one of them is in sequence and in a particular order. Amen? You know, I'm going to say this. No, this is not picking on Kathy in any way. When there was a blind man in the Bible and they questioned, well, why was he like this when he was born? And Jesus said, well, it was for my glory. Amen? For the glory of the Father, and that's when he healed him. For every human being in this room, apart from one, we have 23 pairs of chromosomes. Amen? That's 46 total. Kathy is the only one in this room that has 47. If you have just one extra, you will develop Down syndrome. If there's just one out of place, amen? It has to do with how you are being made in the womb. Amen? If there's just one out of place, it can completely alter everything.
Yes.
Just one. Out of all the millions of DNAs and cells, it just takes one to permanently alter you forever.
She's got a special child.
We're fearfully and wonderfully made.
Yeah.
And if you want to go even further into the DNA is sequenced. It's in a particular order.
Yeah.
Amen? It's just, and it blows me away that somebody could say that even if a cell did miraculously spring into existence without creation, you know, the theory of evolution, say a cell were to spring itself into existence and it has the nucleus and it has somehow miraculously has this DNA that's in this exact sequence that orders the cell to take this particular material in order to make this. Say it does miraculously have all of those things. How on earth is it aware that it's alive to say, you know what, I need to reproduce? It's not. It doesn't work like that. See, biology teaches us that all cells come from pre-existing cells.
Yep.
Well, then the question would be, where did the first one come from? Amen. No, God is good. Where we are truthfully, fearfully, and wonderfully made. But anyways, going back to, what does this have to do with the bricks? What does this have to do with the blessings? Amen. I told you I was getting to it. I didn't forget. The Lord said, I go away to prepare a place for you. Now then, with knowing how He created us, because it does say that Jesus, you know, through Him all things were made, and without Him was nothing made, we know that He is an architect of sorts, amen? And this is why I believe that He instilled that in us, because we too have some of the attributes of God. There's not one human here that doesn't love to create. There's not a person on earth that doesn't love to create in some form or another. Some people create music. Some people love to make food. Some people like me who love construction. Some people love to make friendships. Amen? Some people love to make activities. Amen? There's always something. I believe that's inherent and instilled in us by God, our Creator. If He can make such a wonderful piece of art, if He can make a human, make you, Popeye, Shirley, Ollie, Pastor Tim, me, you, how much greater would a mansion be? Because God didn't create any mansions on earth, from my understanding. He told us how to make the tabernacle, but as far as it being assembled with His own hands, I don't think so. So my only question to this particular passage of Scripture being, when He says, I go away to prepare a place for you, or a mansion, when He says, in my Father's house there are many mansions, how great is that mansion? Now, I don't have the answer to this, but I can only imagine. The question would be, is it the mansions as they were back in the day, which would be about the size of what our modern day home already is? Is it a mansion by today's standards, where it be this, marvelous thing? Or is it a mansion to what God's standards of it would be? And if that's the case, He says that the earth is His footstool. And that the heavens are His throne. Where will we make rest for Him? I can only imagine what a mansion would be like to God.